Hello and welcome to the ISFL Season 27 Draft. I am your host, J-Patch. I am a head office member now, and I push the buttons for these things, and I am joined by a wonderful cast of characters.
My name is Cody. I am the GM for the Philadelphia Liberty, along with Punter75, also known as Pat. My character is Gary Goodman in the league, a linebacker for Philadelphia, obviously. And I am real excited for this draft. First one as a GM. Woo.
I am Frost. I'm the Sarasota Selfish GM. I have a running back that's pretty stinky. And I have no first-round picks.
I am Laser. I used to be the Orange County GM. Now I'm just some scrub that gets to commentate on these things. And my current player is not drafted yet.
I'm Sid, GM of Honolulu. My player is Jim Waters, who is not going to win CB of the Year this year.
I'm Starboy. I'm one of the Baltimore GMs, and my player is the infamous Chica Vomit. About all you need to know.
Hey, I'm Silfreni, Colorado's Tyrant. My player is Greedy Sly.
I'm Tom Hanks. I am the DSFL Commissioner, former NOLA GM, and my player is the ever-youthful Forrest Gump.
Wow, so we got a whole cast of characters here that know a lot about the league, so I don't have to say anything. And with that, I think we'll get started. The first round pick, the Honolulu Hahalua select 11 Kendrick Watts, wide receiver, user numbers 124715. Tell me a little bit about this guy, Sid. Why'd you pick him?
Numbers was the obvious number one pick for us. He's a capped wide receiver already, but he's also active in the locker room and just like a great personality in general. He's a recreate as well, who I believe had a... And just in general, we were happy to have him at number one.
Perfect.
I think this was consensus number one on most people's boards. Not surprised he got taken number one overall.
Yeah, I was pretty sure he was going to go here.
Yeah.
I think it was a
No, I
reach.
mean, Numbers created this recreate in the class I did back in 15, and he was already a huge name way the hell back then. He's a legend for a lot of teams, including New Orleans and Kansas City and Philadelphia. He's been a head office member, rookie mentor head. He's just been huge in the league his time there, and yeah, not at all surprising to see him go here.
Yeah, congrats, numbers.
Starboy.
Star.
Oh, all right. Pick number 2 for the Baltimore Hawks, that we're going to have a little transition, is Lawrence Miller from the Portland Pythons, user Overdue. We were pretty much looking around, trying to find some guys that would fill in the spot where Dermott would eventually retire from. And this guy earns like crazy. We've been looking for like a capped out cornerback for a little while, and it not only doesn't show in his TPE, but also on the field. And the fact that Portland made it all the way to the Ultimate, I mean, that's, just butter on the bread for what we're looking for.
Yeah, this pick made a lot of sense. Cornerback's position of need in the league, and he's earning extremely well. I think he's also in an SHL, maybe. Don't quote me on that. So he's not new to sim leagues. He'll do well.
All right, that'd be my turn then. With the number 3 pick in the Season 27 ISFL Draft, Philadelphia Liberty select Xander Creed, running back from the Kansas City Coyotes, user Reed9. It's not a secret that Philadelphia was in the market for a running back this draft. Our running backs are getting quite old and regressing. I had a great time scouting Bandit. His beliefs kind of fell in line with what we're trying to build here in Philadelphia. Couldn't be happier. He's one of the top 10 earners in TB this class, and he's produced quite a bit of media. Fun fact about Xander Creed, he is a 2-time tap dancing state champion during middle school.
Huh.
They're
Yeah.
very excited to have this guy.
This was a pick that Kansas City was really, really excited about. It was a bit of a contentious one during the DSFL draft because a lot of different DSFL GMs wanted this player, or this user. So it was not at all surprising. Like I said, with numbers, see him go this high just because he was up for DSFL most dedicated member. He's been everywhere. Big name. Great pick by Philadelphia here.
Yeah, we're very excited to have him on the team. He's going to be growing with us in the next few seasons, and it's great. I'll continue talking because I'm also reading for Berlin. So with the number 4 pick in the draft, the Berlin Fire Salamanders select Marlon Stinky Brando, defensive tackle from the London Royals. User NS528, mostly known as Blorgle. Everywhere else, this guy was high up on a lot of people's draft boards. He's a great user, super active on the forums and Discord. He was also nominated for most dedicated member in the DSFL, which is big for any user. I was looking to shore up that D line, and they definitely did with the pick here. Hashtag Blorgle Gang.
Yeah, this is a fantastic pick. London has a lot of GMs associated with them, and I think all of us were eyeing Blorgle. I'm not surprised to see him go this high at all. He's an incredible user. He's awesome in the locker room, great teammate, made war room there. He's going to be fantastic for Berlin. Guess that's me then. With the 5th pick, the S27 draft, Colorado Yeti select Sparky Boom Man, safety from Norfolk. This is user Flesh Bag Soup, also known as the infamous Bagel. So I did not know I was going to be on the stream. I have little draft notes that I wrote just in case I wasn't. I originally met Bagel in Tijuana. He was one of my GMs there when I first joined the league. He's an absolutely incredible user, cares deeply about people, and is just a ton of fun to have in a locker room. In Colorado, he's a big part of our culture, and when we knew he was going to retire, we were super sad because we love having him there. So for us to be able to bring him back was like our number 1 priority. And to be able to do that at 5th overall, I'm incredibly thankful. So welcome home, Bagel. We're happy to have you and excited to bring you back.
What a fantastic render they used here.
When Bagel retired, I genuinely asked the New Orleans GMs if we could tank. They said no. We ended up making the Ultimus and falling way further than he would have been available for the pick. But I probably would have taken, like, if I was a GM in this draft, I probably would have taken Bagel 1 overall. I love this guy.
Yeah. He was
incredible. He's such a positive presence. He is to date. Shameless plug. I maintain my greatest success in this sim league is the fact that Bagel once told me he doesn't think he would be active unless I reach out to him the way I did as Tijuana GM. And I maintain that is the single best impact I have ever made on this league because he is such a great presence.
And last thing I'll mention, he makes me feel better about my league skills because I carry him on a regular basis. Anyways.
With the 6th pick, the San Jose SaberCats select Duke Cheeks Tropicalia CC user. Yeah. I believe he's a
Yeah, this is
Drop.
the former Dexter Banks user who's a longtime Sailfish and won MVP with us. He's a bank manager as well. I was really hoping that he would fall a little bit more so then we could trade up for him. But San Jose they got a very good user here with the regressing linebacker core.
Trop was awesome in scouting as well. I know from talking to him, he's just like an absolute team player, was flexible on where he was going to play and when he was going to play, just was interested in helping the team in whatever way he could. He was one of our highest ranked prospects. And so I wasn't surprised to see him to go 6 here. San Jose got a good one.
Yeah, I think me and Butters were pretty much because we're both big fans of his, and he also is my GM back at Kansas City when I first started out, and we were both like, all right, we got to find a way to get him. And then the moment he went, we both were just like, well, here goes the draft.
Yeah.
All right, that makes it. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, no, I know when we were looking at mock drafts, about 3/4 of the league had us taking Duke Cheeks, and I know when we first started seeing that before pre-draft properly started, and we were just the mock draft starting to roll out. We were like, oh yeah, that would be a good pick if he fell to us. Yeah, that would be a solid one.
Yeah. Oops.
I knew
That's
he
my
would,
fault.
but it was nice to imagine for a day or two.
All right. For pick number 7, Orange County Otters will select Bean Man. Use your Seymour snatches. Bean Man is from Norfolk. Norfolk? How do you say that?
How do you say it?
Good question. I don't know. Anyway, moving swiftly onwards, Blasoon is the new GM of Orange County. He took over for me along with Maury, and Blasoon was the GM of the Seawolves for a long time, so they have a connection there. He's able to know a lot about the members that come from there, and I believe that Beanman is probably going to stay down another season if I had to guess, knowing what I do about the roster. And then my assumption would be that they'll let Carl Weiser walk in free agency, and then he'll be able to come up then. But I could also be completely wrong because it is no longer my team.
Bean is a great user. When he went off the board, I was so sad because he was somebody I was hoping would maybe fly under the radar a little bit. Not the case, but a really good guy.
Yeah, Blasoon was just raving about him pretty much the whole time that I was talking to him.
Nice. So at the 8th pick, the Yellowknife Wraiths select Kita Chiasa, user Saber Mike.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, no, he's one of the top earners in this class, particularly at cornerback. With Overdue gone, Bill and I felt like this would be a good locker room fit, as well as just being a position in need, and just looking for somebody at the top to fill that cornerback position. I mean, we all know that's a huge position in need for a lot of teams in the league, and finding a really good earner there is always a big priority. So Yellowknife's just kind of making a big pick here to A, fill a position in need, and B, find somebody that they think is really going to fit in their locker room. And personally, as a Chicago Bears fan, I cannot stand looking at that render right now.
It's beautiful.
Oh, it's incredible. Look at the hair. How could you say no to that?
Because I watched him sack my quarterbacks for most of my life.
Very fair.
Yes, that is Clay
right.
Matthews from
Yes.
the chat.
Yes.
No,
it is.
it's Thor.
Don't listen to Frost. Pick number 9, Orange County Otters again, because we have 2 first-rounders this draft, is going to be Ace Savage from Norfolk Seawolves, user Gunner. This is not surprising to me. They just traded away Tatsu Nakamura, and they needed a running back to take his place, so they got one of the guys from Norfolk that not only has the connection to Blasu, but also Gunner was one of the more vocal people that I talked with when I was putting out my mock draft, and I know he also has a DOT subscription, which means he's able to make money and continue with that. And his stats are pretty good down there as well, so maybe the Sim will choose to like him.
Yeah, we. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, aside from Bagel, Gunnar might be the nicest person in this draft. He was just a treat to scout. I really liked this guy.
Yeah, I agree on that. We were really high on him as well. I mean, all the running backs in this draft we were really high on, and we're hoping maybe he'd fall a bit more, but you guys got a good pick here at 9.
Up next is Chicago at 10th overall. They're going to pick Madison Hayes, running back from Minnesota, the user 7. Yeah, so this is the TPE leader of this class right now. Well over the 250 cap. Chicago's definitely, they're going to be very happy with this pick because they didn't even have to move up and they still got this high TPE of a player. They currently have Baby Yoda, and Julio Turt, they're a few seasons both off from regression, and the rest of the Chicago roster has fairly few holes. So, best player available here. They're probably going to be happy with this one.
Yeah, same thing here. It was another high-rated running back that it was neck and neck for us, and it could have easily been drafted at 3. And again, Chicago, you guys got a real good pick here at 10.
Yeah, I am very
No,
surprised that he dropped this far.
No, I was just going to say the same thing myself, Laser. Like, number 1 TPE player in the draft. I know TPE certainly isn't everything, but he's. I know all the guys in Minnesota really like him in the locker room. He's a big SHL guy, so it's
SHLG,
proven commodity. Yeah, no, exactly. And top TP earner in the class. Like the fact if you're Chicago and you're getting the number 1 TP earner and a proven commodity at 10 overall, you're walking away feeling really good with that pick.
Oh yeah, easily.
Absolutely.
All right. And number 11, try not to butcher this name too much. We have Maui Wailiki, user Excelsior. He's listed at offensive line right here as he is in the TP tracker. But as we found out, he was actually moving to defensive end, which still fits a really big need for us. We were looking for offensive lineman, defensive lineman in the draft, and we were going to get Marlon Brando. But then it just so happened that we found this offensive lineman who switched over to defensive line. And it just made sense. He talks all the time in the general chat about football, and we love talking about football. And the fact that he's a big Packers fan, it's a big thing for one of our GMs who's also a big Packers fan. Even if you boo it, I'm not a huge Packers fan, but I'm sure that it'll work out. I like this guy. I love the way how much activity he has inside the just in general chat alone. So I can't even imagine what he's gonna be like with Baltimore and just going forward.
And he's also the reigning DSFL most dedicated member.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I love his profile picture.
No, I mean, I know I waxed on about this with the last pick as well, but this is another guy who I'm really surprised fell as far as he did because, people talk about position switches being a potential reason for somebody to fall. But position switching to defensive end, which is famously a really necessary and needed position, if anything, should have increased the guy's draft stock. He's already got $61.5 million in the bank.
Yeah.
Pumping out media, fantastic TPE total for when he created. Great pick by Baltimore. Can't complain at all.
And to that point, when I was talking with him, he said that he was concerned that wanting to be called up right away might be part of why he didn't expect to go very high. I told him there was no way he was going to be dropping out of the first round, but
not a chance.
Yeah.
All right. So because I also have New York's picks, I have some notes here for the next pick at number 12. They are picking James Wilkinson, tight end, user Triant. So some notes for you from Wolkers. This pick here was a no-brainer for us. We spent all of last season without a true tight end, and Triant is the number 2 earner in the class. We honestly felt that we were gambling by waiting to see if he would slide to 12, but fortunately, luck was with us. A number of people messaged me shortly after we made this selection, so clearly we got a good user who's genuinely well liked, and which is exactly what we're always looking for to add to our culture. You're like everything we're seeing from Triant, and we're excited to have him as a member of the Silverbacks.
Yeah, I think every team was really high on this user. Philadelphia really liked him a lot. If we weren't set at tight end for this season, he probably would have been our top choice. We're hoping he might fall to the second round. We honestly tried to make a move up. Didn't happen. Great selection by New York on this one.
He's definitely going to fit in with New York really well because they currently have no tight end except
Yep.
for him.
Mm-hmm.
With
I know New Orleans was looking potentially when it was getting to the pick right before ours. We were thinking, all right, huge replacement for Noka, who's just starting to regress now and looking into the future. But when we were in the war and we were looking at it, and I was kind of going, all right, the fact that he's this second overall earner in the draft is already pretty ridiculous. He's not going to go past a team that does not have a tight end on the roster ever. Like, this was always going to be the pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's going to complement the Jackson Kingston duo over there
Oh,
for a while.
absolutely. I was tempted to take him even though we have a tight end.
How dare you? I am famed Hollywood actor Tom Hanks. If you're curious as to why my voice sounds different, it is because I am an actor.
Nice. Well, at 13, New Orleans
Killer Tom
select
Hanks impression.
a trade.
Oh, wow.
What a thick one. Oh, New Orleans receives Austin's S27 round 2 picks 22 and 26, as well as New York's round 2 pick in the next draft, as well as the kicker punter pseudo QB. Austin receives this pick, as well as Nola's round 2 pick 27.
Yeah. We have Lefty Lewis at kicker, who has been inactive since I don't know. It's been a
Season
long
21?
time. Lefty Lewis has been inactive. We signed him, and he wasn't inactive, as a replacement for a different kicker we drafted as an inactive. And after Wilkinson went off the board, we were kind of looking around. We were thinking that there were a few guys that we really liked, but nobody we were super in love with to take at this pick necessarily, and just getting some capital for next year, as well as filling the bigger needs immediately for us at kicker, was just a good trade for both us and Austin.
Cool. And with that, Austin selects defensive tackle Candice D. Fit in Your Mouth. The user, the real Mazat.
This
What a
render
rhyme.
frightens me so much.
Pizza the Hut.
Oh,
I've never seen this one.
that's certainly it. Sorry, my internet dropped there for a moment. Austin has some notes for this pick. They say going into this draft, we knew we had to move up into the first to get some of the top tier talent. We had a few targets in mind, but we're especially happy to have picked up Candace. He's someone a lot of us know from the SHL and someone we think will fit right into the Austin locker room. And I would agree with that. For what I've seen of him in the SHL, I think he'll be a great fit in Austin.
Nice.
Can we just move the slide, please? I don't want to.
Yep. All right. Sorry, I was like hypnotized for a moment. With the 14th pick, Arizona, I believe is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
The Arizona Outlaws are going to select Fergus Callahan Jr., defensive tackle from London, user Hoppy75. Hoppy was one of two big-time London defensive tackles in this draft, Blorgo being the other. Both Arizona's GMs that come from London, so I know they had a chance to thoroughly scout him throughout the season. He's been active in London's locker room and was a great guy. Awesome new user who's excited about the league. And for Arizona, this gives them somebody to pair with Ziegel, presumably long-term on the defensive front.
Yeah, he's replacing probably Logan Noble there on the D line. Should make that D line really scary for the near future.
With the 15th pick, the Honolulu select Jason Bradshaw, user Gumbaman. Basic players some of our Warrior members knew from Dallas locker room. He's a locker room presence who is active in other leagues, and we believe he's excited to earn here. He had a lot of versatility when he signaled that he's open to play just about any position on defense. He's a good earner, and I think he'll fit in our locker room. And he's a perfect second rounder for us.
Yeah, he was someone that was very active in the Sarasota locker room during the scouting process. We were actually hoping that he would fall down to our pick in the late second. But this is going to be a really good pick. While TTB is fairly low right now, he's done some podcasts. He's going to be able to bring that up fairly quickly.
Yeah, I know he was one of the guys we were talking about in New Orleans before we traded out of the pick. We were considering taking him in the first round, so definitely a good pick here in the second.
All right, with the second pick in the second round, 16th overall, Philadelphia Liberty select Borgo San Lorenzo. Tight end from the Dallas Bird Dogs, user Agent Smith. Tight end was another big need for Liberty, and we think we got a real gem here in the second round with San Lorenzo. A great conversation with Agent Smith during scouting. Has been earning very well. Huge article this week, so I think he'll be sitting in the $40 to $50 million range, which is excellent going into the season. Very excited to have him join Philadelphia. We're happy we got the second tight end off the board, second ranked tight end off the board. Fun fact about Borgo San Lorenzo, he has purchased every album produced by American Idol winners. A little fun fact about him.
That is a fun fact.
He's another one of those proven commodities in a different sim league.
Yep.
With his experience in SHL. Definitely a safe pick here, and good one, good user.
Yeah, he's going to be the future at tight end after Batista retires this offseason. So we're very excited.
Awesome. So for the third pick in the second round, the Baltimore Hawks select Preston Parker, running back of the Tijuana, the Danger Zone. I had a great chat with Danger Zone. Also, he's a former Atlanta Pink Ponies legend, Xavier Adams, who pretty much carried our defense to the season 24 charity tournament. He's a obviously very experienced player. He's been around for a long time in the league. He's got experience at cornerback, so running back should be no problem. We're glad to add some experience to our team.
Yeah, so his last player retired in Sarasota. He was really good in the locker room for us and as a general player. And a well-earning recruit is going to be good for Baltimore as a replace Sunyadi.
Yeah.
I know we had to ended up letting his previous player walk from New Orleans just because he looking for some money for this recreate, and we had new create coming up, but we traded for him from Austin. I think it was like his second season, and he was phenomenal for us. I really really quite like the user. I know he's been around for a long time, and just a really consistently great guy.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard anything but good things about TDZ, and I can't say anything but good things myself.
All right, and so at 18th overall, Chicago is gonna be picking He Hate Me pick 6 this second, user Vorshyla from Myrtle Beach, not Bondi Beach. So
Oh man, I love this render. I don't know who it is, but I dig that a lot.
It's the Epic
So-
Stacks guy.
Vorsh is one of the top TPE players in this class. I believe he fell because he wanted a little bit money that a lot of teams were not able to pay, but Chicago's gonna be able to get a top tier cornerback here in the second round. It was probably definitely a first round talent, and he's a good locker room presence. He's a casino worker. He's gonna be really good for that team for the future.
Yeah, if any team can pay Vorsh what he's looking for at Chicago, I could tell you
Yeah,
that much.
O-line factory there.
Yeah. 5 human O line, and literally the entire rest of their roster is already paid for, and they have like
Don't
10
they have
million left or
six?
something.
I have 6 human O-line.
Yes.
Maybe.
they
I think
kept
one of
down.
them plays fullback though. I think.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on from Chicago, pick 19 for the Colorado Yeti. We will be selecting Drip Dad, running back out of Tijuana, user Kamish Drip. Kamish is somebody that while I was scouting, I didn't hear from initially. We didn't connect for whatever reason. And then the day, I want to say it was the day before the draft began, we started chatting. And I was incredibly impressed with the answers that he had for me and just the discussion we had. Reminded me of a lot of the answers that I gave once upon a time. And so to find him here in the middle of the second was just a fantastic surprise. And I know Tijuana just, I think, named him a captain. So he's well liked there. He's a great locker room guy. He's active in ours. And yeah, looking forward to add him to the team. Eventually, Swanky's going to start getting a little old in the tooth, and we'll want to add somebody new. My question for you all is, how tall do you think Kamish Drip is? It's very important.
6'6".
1'2".
5'8".
6'9".
5'11".
I'm just going to let you know that he's going to listen this back and write all of
Oh,
your names
no.
down.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
we're
already scouted me.
I've made my choice.
very excited to add him to the team. Welcome to the Yeti Kamish.
So you're just gonna leave us hanging there?
I don't know the
How
actual
tall is he?
answer.
What, you just gonna drop that and
you
not
just-
answer the damn question?
It's Drip has a very specific scouting strategy, and I'll leave it at that because I don't want to give away anything.
Is this a Tinder? Did you swipe right on him?
Obviously, we took him.
All right, he's over 6 feet then. We know that.
Okay. With pick 20, the San Jose SaberCats select a trade. San Jose
Trade.
receives Chicago's round 2, or this pick, question mark? No. They receive
Yeah, it's
the
this pick.
24th pick in the second
yes.
round, and then they will receive Chicago's round 3 pick next season, and Chicago receives this pick. And with that, Chicago will select wide receiver Mike Hunt from the Minnesota Grey Ducks user, the Sparky D.
Yeah, so this is a player that we were actually going to look for with our pick that was right before them. So they leapfrogged us, Nola, Arizona, to make sure that they could get their guy. This guy's been really good in the Minnesota locker room. And with the Minnesota to Chicago connection, is a fairly easy pick for them to make.
Yeah, our scouts were high on Sparky D. Thought about trying to make a move up, but just couldn't make it work. And you guys got a good user here, from what I'm told from our scouts. So good pick.
I have a note here from the previous GMs, the Minnesota GMs here, on Mike Hunt. It's that Sparky is a SHL vet and found his footing in the ISFL very quickly. Far and away been the single most active player in the Minnesota locker room from his draft class. Whoever he so for Chicago, he's going to be a really great presence in the locker room, which is obviously a huge asset when you're talking about drafts, and just that we're quite happy, specifically the CC here, who's part of Chicago, that wanted to shout out the Minnesota to Chicago pipeline. As we know, pipelines exist with certain teams, and this one is one that's been growing quite a bit over the last few years. Yeah, no, it's really great for them to keep bringing in people that they already know who are great commodities and get to build that locker room.
Awesome.
All right. With the 21st pick, Arizona will be selecting Cade York, kicker/punter out of Portland, a user LSU fan. Kicker in round 2 might surprise some people, but it's definitely a position of need across the league. We've already seen one team trade for one in this draft. So to see Cade go here, not surprising. LSU fan, was really good in scouting as well as active in the locker rooms. And so for Arizona, they get one of the only big earning kickers in this class, and sets them up nicely for the future at the position.
Yeah, he created. I think he was one of the last creates for this class. He was a really late waiver player, and to already be the best CP kicker left, that's pretty impressive for that.
I think he was the last create, actually.
That's even better than.
Also, I'm Burrow. For those of you who don't know, LSU fan, also goes by Burrow.
Burrow
I'm his
bad.
GM in the SCFSL. He just signed with the Wallabies. Big shout out. Great player. Hi, Burrow. Great player. Great locker room guy. Nothing but good things to say. Walla dabs on everybody. No, he's a really fun guy to have in the locker room. Really active. Into sim leagues. I know with him being huge in the SCFSL, might not love consistent point tests, but at kicker, who cares of that really? He's going to be huge in the locker room. He'll earn exactly enough to be a fantastic kicker. Pick.
Yeah, he actually is in the PBE as well, and went from there. So he's used to the point test. He could probably just link him for affiliate.
It's nice. Even better.
Awesome. So with the 22nd pick in the ISFL Draft, the New Orleans second line will select Kevin Morrison, linebacker from the Portland Pythons, user the Canadian Canuck.
So first off, shout out to Canada, Canadians and Canucks, huge thing. So I know for Rector, who is the NOLA GM right now, Canadian Canuck username on Discord is Boom. He's his SHL minor leagues GM with Vancouver. I've gotten a note that specifically says to say "Go Whalers" from Rector. He thinks he's going to be a perfect pick for the locker room, and with sadly our S15 players getting older, and with Ugarth, who Frith has still been around in the locker room, but he was inactive for a while. We needed one more linebacker, just kind of shore up that with the moving to the new sim, just having exclusively 2 linebackers in Crow and Huck is getting called up. We need one more, particularly long term. And at this pick, we definitely felt like this was our guy. There was already the connection there with the Whalers. And yeah, no, we think he's going to be a good locker room presence. And lucky pick 22 for Rector. That's his number. Gonna be great.
I have no idea how he fell this far.
Yeah, I had him mocked at 13 to NOLA, and he dropped to 22.
And yeah, no, we traded back, got ourselves a second round pick next year and a kicker out of it, and still got our guy.
Well, Sarasota actually does have a pick this draft. We didn't trade out all of it. So at 23 overall, we are going to select Giovanni Bianchi, user Freelhead, aka Sam. This guy has been fantastic to speak to. He's been very active in the Sarasota locker room, like almost as active as if he was an actual player on the team. And then when we scouted him, he had one of, if not the best conversations with our scout. I'm very happy to have him. He's going to replace our current terrible starting running back. So
Yeah, they're
it's
awful.
going to be good.
It's a great pick in the second round. He's been active in Colorado's locker room as well. Super fun guy to have in there.
Yeah.
With the 24th pick the San Jose SaberCats select Bobby Tarantino, tight end. I think San Jose already has a tight end in CK Royals GM player, but with the new sim, like someone else mentioned, new formations and 2 tight ends could be the new meta. So who knows?
Yeah, this is Jay Steele. His last player was on the Yeti. He's a consistent earner, and to the late, end of round 2 here, finding that has a lot of value. So he's a good locker room guy, never going to cause an issue or anything like that, earns consistently, and is just a good solid pick for San Jose.
He's also really dedicated because he was back on those really bad Yeti teams back in like season 17, I think it was. He was 18, and
Yeah.
he wrote it out.
It's true. It's very true.
We as our second pick in the second round at 25, we're going to be taking Joseph Radsky. User Stephen O'Sullivan. Haven't seen that render before. That's a great one.
That's incredible.
So he is going to be replacing Rain Gordon, who retired last season after the Ultimus. We need a wide receiver. He's a very good one. I had a really good scouting conversation with him. His last player went IA on Nola, but he's definitely really invested this time around, and I'm excited to see where he takes us.
To be fair, he never properly went inactive. Like he was never completely out of reach. He was just kind of at a point where he was pretty much maxed out at kicker. I mean, he's Juosu's brother. Like, it's not like he was ever in a position where we were never able to get a hold of him. We ended up parting ways mostly just because he wanted to get money for a recreate. We couldn't afford it, and it's happened. And I'm really happy to see his recreates earning steadily, and I hope to see good things out of the guy.
Same here.
With the 26th pick in the ISFL draft, the New Orleans second line will select Buck Naked, the cornerback from the Tijuana Luchadors. User will take.
What a absolutely stellar render that is for a luchador coming into New Orleans. Absolutely fantastic. That's what we like to see. For those who don't know, Voltec had a previous player and ended up just kind of phasing out kind of slowly, and then he wrote an article that about what, like, specifically why not to draft him, which I think is really the only reason he was available at this particular pick. We're really happy he was, because even with all the different things that he himself mentioned in an article of why it would be a risk to take him, we were happy to take on those risks and get a guy who is huge in the locker room for Tijuana. Earns well. Isn't the most max earner, but you don't need to be max earner. I've said this quite a bit. Earning steadily and just at a consistent rate, but slightly lower. I will take that any day of the week, twice on Sundays, over a guy who max earns and burns himself out, which is incidentally what he did with his previous create. So I'm really happy to bring this guy into the NOLA locker room. And he's here to have fun with his player, and at the end of the day, that's what we're all here to do. So
yeah, he's definitely a great guy. I remember back when he was crisscross, back when he was in the DSFL, learning everything. He was like one of the first people, like when he moved to the ISFL, that was like helping out all the new rookies in the DSFL. He's just like an insanely great dude in the locker room. Even when he's not even talking about like football stuff.
It's a great dude. And can't complain about drafting a great guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, with the 27th pick, the Austin Copperheads will select Jim the Vampire, linebacker from the Dallas Bird Dogs, user Kyle.
We can just all agree.
Rage.
That's it.
Rage.
Nothing else to say.
Kyle's a great guy.
Whoever said that should leave the stream immediately.
Still, you gotta get out of here. I'm sorry.
All right, I'm venting. I tried, Kyle.
Okay, with the 28th pick, the Yellowknife Wraiths will select Trey Washington, safety from the Kansas City Coyotes, user Master Chief DB.
So, I know this user had a bit of a slow start when they initially signed up. They've kind of come into their stride. They've ended up turning into a really, really solid locker room presence and also a really steady earner since kind of picked up. Like I know they have a bit of a lower TB count right now, but I think that's more of a factor of the fact that they just kind of started out slow rather than indicative of what's going to happen in the future. So I am I'm gonna I don't know if we're doing steal cards this draft, but I am potentially gonna call this guy a steal. Because I think I think with the rate he's gone on since he's kind of picked up and kind of horned in on the league properly, I'll call this guy a steal.
He also has an addiction to dots packs, which is probably means he's not gonna go IA with that many dots.
Can't confirm.
Yes.
With the 29th pick, Honolulu selects Joliet Christ Jr., a user AW13. We were surprised when Joliet Christ Jr. fell to the third round. The next draft class has a bunch of big name QBs in it, but we couldn't pass on such a great player and great user available to us when in the draft. They're close to capped at 215 TP. He has had a Hall of Fame quarterback before, so we're hoping he repeats again with us this time.
Yeah, this pick made a lot of sense. There's really only one quarterback of note in the class, and Honolulu, who I think is looking for one for the future, makes sense to grab him here.
Rip Skywalker.
I think this is a really good fit for both Christ and the Hahalua here, because I'm not trying to drag out, but your QB went inactive, right? So bringing in one sooner rather than later was more of a priority for Honolulu than anybody else, and AW finding a place where he can get called up sooner rather than later is going to be good for him. And just kind of trying to get back on that Hall of Fame track that senior was on, because I remember when I joined the league way the hell back in early 2019, watching kind of the tail end of Christ's career. He was really, really something. So I hope that the junior is going to be as kind of electric to watch.
Yeah, he definitely fits the timeline for Honolulu better than any other team, just because none of the QBs are hitting regression this off season.
We're hoping to have him partner up with Numbers, so just for a duo for the future.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great duo right there. Both recreated users that have a lot of league experience and on the same team together.
That's a dangerous combo.
Awesome.
All right, well, it's the let's move on with the second pick in the third round, 30th overall. Philadelphia Liberty select Suyu Asui, wide receiver from the London Royals, user Wildfire Macro. Taking Wildfire with this pick was an absolute home run for us. Suyu is one of the highest earners in the entire class, so for us to grab them with the 30th pick is what we in the industry refer to as a steal. Wildfire, the user himself, is super active in locker rooms, and we know he'll be a great addition to ours in Philadelphia. Or to say we're ecstatic about this pick would be not underselling it. Fun fact about Suyu Osbi: she's actually a superhero with the abilities of Frog, and hopefully that leaping ability helps out Philly's passing attack. We were in desperate need of a third wide receiver. Our current third receiver is inactive, so Suyu will be real quick call up, possibly this year, maybe only 1 year in the DSFL. I'm excited to have Wildfire. I know there was some issues in the past with him, but since I've been in the league, nothing but great interactions, and I can speak for everyone in Philadelphia when we say we're very excited to get this year.
Yeah, so I got drafted to London in the same class as Wildfire's first player. And he's an awesome team guy, gets excited for games, gets hyped up, gets the locker room into it. And yeah, he's, I think, top TPE or second TPE left on the board. So just kind of a nice meeting of needs.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think the reason Wildfire fell as far as he is isn't really his fault necessarily. Like the whole circumstances are not a big secretive thing, but I understand why he left when he did. And I think he's just back and hoping to kind of find that initial joy with the league. And based on what I've seen from Rookie Chat and just in my capacity of DSFL commissioner, he's just kind of enjoying it a lot more. And I think I think those kind of concerns are largely unfounded at this point. I think this is going to turn out to be a really solid player.
Yeah, all the anime players have a lot more fun. That's confirmed.
Absolutely disgusting. I take it back. I would like to.
All right. Next up, at the third pick of the third round, Baltimore is selecting Armando. I'm going to mispronounce his last name. Gallaga from Kansas City. Big Unit Babs is the user. We've been looking for a kicker that sort of can hopefully one day get to the not gonna punt it away to the 30-yard line. Hopefully that changes the new sim, and we've seen him around sort of with our Kansas City connection, seen him bounce around here and there. We're excited to see if we can carry him to the next step and have someone that's going to keep with the 100% accurate on his extra points and maybe boost up his field goal percentage and make use of an active kicker.
I believe we won kicker of the year in the DSFL, correct?
I believe so.
Yeah, Babs is
I think it was punted.
well established. Had a previous player. All the interactions I had with Babs were fantastic. I know before we ended up making that trade with Austin, we were talking about targeting either Babs or Burrow. Because, guys, solid earning kickers, just good locker room people.
Yeah, he's a GM in PB, so he's going to be able to have those affiliate PTs fairly well.
Excellent. All right. Well, with the fourth pick in the third round, 32nd overall, the Berlin Fire Salamanders select Cheese Farley, offensive lineman out of Kansas City. User Gieran Widow. Cheese Farley, a Wisconsin name through and through, which makes me happy. This prospect was great for the Coyotes this year. Put up good numbers, 61 pancakes, 0 sacks allowed. He was nominated for DSFL Offensive Lineman of the Year and finished second in the voting, I believe. Berlin, second pick in the draft, and you got quite the gem here. I do say so myself.
I mean, there's one reason only that Guerin's going here, and that's that they've said that you want to be a DSFL lifer, or at the very least spend the 4 years in the DSFL. Other than that, I mean, this likely a first rounder, had it not been for that. So
yeah,
at this point, getting a great locker room presence, and potentially getting somebody who, after the ISFL career that they're kind of focused on at the moment, ends with the 4-year limit, having the potential to be able to bring up somebody who's solid earner, fantastic locker room presence. Great pick here.
Yeah, he was my teammate in PB. He was really a really good locker room presence for that team.
And for Berlin here, it's not a bad shot. You know, maybe he changes his mind down the road and wants to come up, and now they've got an offensive lineman.
Yeah, no, exactly.
All right, moving swiftly on. Pick 33. This may be the most excited I've ever been announcing a draft pick. I'm thrilled that this happened. I spent the entire previous round trying to trade up. Nobody would trade up because they're all bullies. And luckily the guy we wanted made it back to us. So with the 33rd pick, Colorado Yeti will be selecting Benjamin Ankers, linebacker, Norfolk. This is Sir Bongo. Everybody feel free to play bongos. Nobody going to join me? Okay, that's fine. We love Bongo
I got you.
in Colorado. He's amazing. He joined our locker room and immediately messaged me and said, hey, you should draft me. This guy has 1,900 messages in the Norfolk locker room alone. How do I know that? You'll never know. But he's got a couple hundred in Colorado. He is incredibly active. And to find that in the 3rd round is my steal of the draft. This is a guy that's going to be around. He's, we'll help him get set up earning and stuff like that, but he's going to be absolutely fantastic for us. I love this guy.
Stellar render as well.
With the 34th pick, the San Jose SaberCats select Mills Wallace, Griff 001, defensive end from Minnesota, the Minnesota Grey Ducks. So just shoring up the defensive line, always a popular position in the ISFL. So getting looks to be inactive, I think, but still getting a defensive line if he comes back active will help the San Jose later.
He still talks in the Minnesota locker room and is active in the PB, so it could potentially be a good seal pick here.
He was
I
actually
know
somebody...
he's active in SCFSL as well. Definitely not like completely unreachable. At this point, definitely a solid pick.
He's been in Colorado, and I had a good chat with him. So he is around, and he was somebody, like, if Bongo hadn't been there, we would have taken him with our last pick, absolutely.
Awesome. With the 35th pick in the ISFL Season 27 draft, the Arizona Outlaws select DeQuayne Madison, defensive tackle from the Portland Pythons, user King JWM57. Dope. With the 36th pick in the draft, the Austin Copperheads will select Carter Fox, defensive tackle from the Portland Pythons, user Fuzz ISFL.
Yes, we have notes for Fuzz here from the Austin Copperheads. They say Fuzz is very similar to SMAT in that he has SHL roots. He was very active to start things off, but fell down the board because he got busy. He's already come back and submitted his point test, so we think he could be the steal of the draft, and they are thrilled to have him join them in Austin. And that moves us into Orange County's pick number 37. And with that pick, they will be taking Felonious Junk, a kicker out of Norfolk. And I don't know that I've ever spoken to them, but Orange County does need a kicker, with this being Alex D's final season in the league. And it makes sense to pick one up here with their first of 2 third-round selections.
Yeah, he's active in the MLR, I think, with Jeff, where Jeff came from. So it definitely made sense with the connection there.
Awesome. With the 38th pick in the draft, the Chicago Butchers will select Devontae Crook, user Southie, linebacker from the Tijuana Luchadors.
Okay, I have a specific note from Southie on this one, which is He is currently selling a used 2004 Honda Accord with 91,000 miles. Will accept cash or trade.
What color is it?
Don't have that information on hand, I'm afraid.
Dang it. How's this in my Venmo?
Nice.
Incredible.
Sorry, they asked for cash or trade, so Venmo simply won't work.
I can trade him my cash.
Please, Cross, save us.
With 39th pick, the Sarasota Sailfish pick. I can't pronounce this, man. I'll just try. Vilhaj Almer Wolverson. I'm so sorry.
Vilhjalmur Hjulmarsson.
There you go. Ben is a GM in the Super Casual League, and he's been doing some point tasks and PTs and such. I had a good scouting conversation with him. I think that he could, and he's talked in the Sarasota locker room, I think that he could be one of the best steals of the draft here. Very happy that we are able to get him.
What was his name again?
No.
I don't think I can say it the same way.
Obviously.
Yes, that. And with the 40th pick, Orange County's back on the clock, and they will be taking Kason Nyeoka. We'll go with that. From Bondi Beach, he's a rain delay. Believe rain delay was the other founding GM of Sarasota, right, Frost?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's gone away on this player, sadly. But
yeah, but he is. My guess is that with half of Orange County's war room and one of their GMs being from Bondi Beach, that they will attempt to bring him back. And if they can't, then they'll still like to have him around for the locker room present there.
Okay, with the 41st pick in the ISFL
wait,
draft, the Sarasota Sailfish select Booty, linebacker from the Tijuana Luchadors.
Yeah, sorry, I kind of blanked there. Booty was the former QB of Tijuana, and with picks of actives just dwindling down here with under 10 picks left, we just took the most active player available, and that's Booty.
Nice.
And you know what? You might end up getting some pictures of their dog Tofu out of it, so that's a win.
That's very good because we've already gotten many pictures from Sam. I love dog pics.
Nice. With the
Beautiful.
42nd pick in the ISFL draft, Berlin Fire Salamander select Shane Benjamin, tight end from Portland Pythons, user the Meme Maestro.
Yeah.
MM is a former Colorado player and former GM, I believe, as well. He is still
Legendary former Colorado GM.
Your words, not mine. He is still around. I know we got a hold of him in scouting and stuff like that. So for Berlin, solid value play.
Yeah, we scouted him in Philadelphia, and he seems like he'll be a pretty active user. Could be a solid pick. Could pay dividends in the long run here.
Nice. The 43rd pick in the ISFL draft, the Honolulu Hahalua select Dimitri Elliott, linebacker from the Dallas Bird Dogs. User Retu Perkele.
I think at this point, everyone's just taking who they think is most likely to come back from inactivity.
Or best username.
Or best username, which
Fair enough.
would be Retu Perkele.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Cool.
Speaking of good names, with the second pick in the 4th round, 44th overall, Philadelphia Liberty select Exo Cordell, quarterback from the London Royals, user Exo Gorthian. At this point in the draft, I feel like you can never have too many quarterbacks on the roster, so we decided to reach out for one more. You can't deny the quality of prospects that have come out of London in the last couple of classes, so we're taking a shot here. Fun fact about Exo Cordell, His name is an anagram for Taco Rolex. So write that one down.
And
Future,
there's another super casual league user as well, so easily reachable. General manager of the Dragons over in the super casual league, so definitely a solid pick at this point in the draft.
The best DSFL QB of all time. Let's look at the stats.
I'm sorry, Gimme exists, so I must have
No.
misheard you.
No,
No.
gimme bad.
Give me
Give me
bad. All right,
Give
next
me
up,
bad.
at pick number 45, the Baltimore Hawks select Massimo Rocco, running back out of Minnesota, user Dabadad. We were looking for, just kind of a running back to fill up a spot. Hope he came back. His stats were pretty good, and Minnesota people usually eventually come back around. There's a lot of good active people in Minnesota, so we were hoping we could, see what we can get with him this late in the draft.
Nice.
All right, with the 4th pick in the 4th round, 46 overall, the Berlin Fire Salamander select Zane Cruz, defensive end from the London Royals, user Zane Cruz. I told this guy's a lot to prove when inactive for a bit, but I heard he's tenacious and wants to earn that TP and really make his new team proud. I think Berlin might have gotten a real good user here if they can keep motivated, and hopefully he works out well for him.
With the 47th pick, Colorado Yeti will select Henrik von Pigeon, defensive tackle from Bondi Beach, user Keckers. So yeah, it's late in the draft, a lot of IAs. Keckers is one of them. We do have a little bit of an advantage, hopefully, in bringing him back. He is IRL friends with somebody in our war room. So we are hopeful that we can get him into the Colorado locker room and maybe get him updating and earning again.
With the 48th pick in the ISFL Draft, the San Jose SaberCats select Dash Smith, cornerback of the Dallas Bird Dogs, user Bruh.
Bruh.
This guy's a real bruh. That's why they picked him, I'm sure.
Bruh.
Pick 49, the Arizona Outlaws are going to select Pink Panther. He's a kicker punter out of London, user Eagle Eye. Arizona seeking to build on the strength of their draft of Cade York in the 2nd. Now double down and take another kicker.
Nice.
Can never have too many kickers.
Might
No,
need
you
a
cannot.
designated punter.
Speaking of
I'm getting
kickers,
some outside sources
pick number
here. I'm
50, the New York
49, I
Silverbacks
got-
will select.
Sorry, I got a note here from someone
Ugh.
for pick 49 for Pink Panther. We felt that he was a great fit for us, and we really like eagles, and we really like eyes. That's the quote I had.
Perfect.
I actually recruited him, and he is very IA.
Nice. Well,
All right,
New York selects
so-
Rotor Wash, obviously.
Rotor Wash. I got some notes. Most of our war room didn't know about Rotor, as we assumed him to be inactive and lost to the league. But after this pick was made, Troutner slid into the war room and knew exactly who he was. Guess he's around with the PBE. We're not sure what to expect here, but we get this guy active and earning again. That could be an outstanding pick.
Nice.
So it's no take on a Rotor.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And with pick number 51, Orange County will select Joe Bay, user KMAT. And I don't think this user will be active, if I had to guess.
Nice. Congrats, Oko. Perfect. That's the end of our draft. Congratulations to everyone who was drafted today. I look forward to seeing you guys blossom and flourish throughout your career. Next week, please join us on Tuesday for the last day of the Prospect Bowl, where there will be 2 weeks followed by a championship game. And then on next Friday, we will have the DSFL Draft, and then the following Monday will be the ISFL preseason, and the following Tuesday will be the DSFL preseason. So I look forward to seeing you guys all there. Thank you for joining us. If you're watching and you were supposed to be drafted but weren't, please let someone from HO know. Otherwise, have fun and live your best life. Yeah, so goodbye.